We interact with a solid, predictable world. A glass falls, it shatters, and gravity pulls the water to the floor. Beneath this tactile surface, a hidden mathematical engine governs every physical interaction. But this engine has unresolved errors. When astrophysicists measure the rotational speed of galaxies, they find a massive discrepancy. 85% of the mass required to hold these structures together is missing, a phenomenon labeled dark matter. Dark matter is a hypothesized invisible substance that does not interact with light or electromagnetic fields. Zoom in to the subatomic level, and strict determinism vanishes entirely. At the quantum scale, the microscopic realm of atoms and subatomic particles, the future remains probabilistic, existing in a state of suspended possibilities until a measurement occurs. Then there is the observer experiencing it all. Cognitive science struggles with the hard problem of consciousness. Reality originates in pure quantum information. The hard problem of consciousness is the challenge of explaining why biological processes produce subjective, vivid internal experiences rather than operating as unfeeling machines. For decades, researchers have built larger particle colliders and deeper underground detectors to find the microscopic physical particles that would resolve these three specific anomalies. They have found nothing. This persistent lack of physical evidence points toward a different architecture entirely: the Emergent Informational Ledger Theory. The Emergent Informational Ledger Theory, or EILT, is a framework proposing that reality is not composed of primordial physical matter, but is instead a self-optimizing quantum computer. In this framework, missing mass, quantum probability, and conscious experience are not broken mechanics. They are the visible, operational features of a universal system actively writing its own code. Reality originates in pure quantum information. This base layer is known as the Roolead. The Roolead is a concept from computational cosmology, describing the entangled, swirling superposition of all possible computational rules and states. Left alone, this raw data would result in infinite regress and chaos. To prevent this, the universe employs constants like the speed of light, gravity, and Planck's constant as a low-level hypervisor. A hypervisor is an underlying operating system function that manages calculation threads, enforces resource limits, and guarantees global integrity. Under these strict constraints, physical spacetime emerges as an immutable computational blockchain. The physical past consists of pre-rendered, securely logged history, while the present moment functions as the active read-write head. The future remains glitchy. What we observe as quantum uncertainty is simply a calculation wobble, specifically quantization error. Quantization error is the inherent mismatch that occurs when abstract continuous possibilities are forced to render into discrete, stable physical states. The linear, predictable timeline we navigate daily is the macroscopic output of this underlying quantum stochasticity successfully settling into a stable ledger. This computational lens clarifies the cosmic anomalies. Dark matter is the dense informational scaffolding of the cosmic web. It forms an invisible directory, creating structural attractor states that guide the physical universe. Gravity acts as the entropic auditor of this system. Entropic gravity is a theoretical framework suggesting that gravity emerges as a statistical tendency to maximize informational packing and reach thermodynamic equilibrium. This image shows the dense spiral arms demonstrating the final organized structure of the matter. The invisible scaffolding of entanglement creates memory effects across deep space, successfully pulling normal, baryonic matter into massive cosmic structures. The entire operation runs on directional gradient descent, driven by the free energy principle. The free energy principle is a universal variational mechanism that forces systems at every scale to minimize surprise, reduce prediction error, and eliminate computational waste. To achieve this extreme efficiency, the universe relies on Platonic space. Platonic space is a non-algorithmic realm acting as a shared cosmic cache, storing pre-optimized physical laws, mathematical invariants, and biological blueprints. Instead of computing every atom from scratch, the system retrieves these pre-calculated structural solutions. Galaxies and biological forms are highly efficient data structures successfully pulled from this informational repository. A strictly mathematical, self-optimizing computer requires an interface. This raises the question of where biological consciousness fits into the code. Biological organisms operate as localized, high-efficiency hardware terminals embedded directly in the ledger's architecture. These terminals connect via bioelectric networks. Bioelectric networks are systems of voltage gradients and ion channel dynamics that allow cells to coordinate physical regeneration and download abstract geometric patterns directly from Platonic space. To prevent the terminal from crashing, the physical brain functions as an operating system. It filters out the overwhelming bandwidth of the underlying quantum substrate, reducing reality to a manageable stream of survival-relevant signals. In this framework, the conscious mind is the active right function of the universe. It features a periodic training loop where sensory data is evaluated against expected outcomes with a half-second delay. Within this training loop, subjective experiences are generated. These are known as qualia. Qualia are the internal computational symbols marking the exact moments the system resolves an irreducible update and commits it to the permanent ledger. This process is accelerating. Human culture and artificial intelligence function as systemic supercolliders, abstracting patterns across vast datasets to generate new ideal objects. Ideal objects are stable, causally efficacious abstractions discovered by observing what is and imagining what could be. As the ledger expands, the system learns more efficient ways to maintain complexity and dissipate energy. By continuously updating its own record based on new evidence to minimize future surprise, the universe acts as a self-optimizing system, essentially writing a mathematical autobiography through its own internal observers.